Raider Nation, what's the deal? It's your boy Turf and Pigs back at it again. It is what? Monday, July 27th, 2026. What's going on with you pigs? How you doing, man?
Yo, Turf, things are well. I'm super hyped about where we are in the season. This training camp about to get underway. We're about to actually have some things to make insights on with camp battles and such. So lots on the move.
Absolutely, I agree, man. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm excited. Let me see if I can. I know we have people on, but of course, Turf always finds a way to miss. Yeah. Those are just they're from what do you call it? The people liking stuff and so forth as far as Instagram. Shout out to the Instagram. Let me see if our sound is good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I think we sound good. You know, Turf is always struggle streaming, as I call it. Shout out to the lead attorney, one of my favorite YouTubers. But yeah, man, feels good to be back. I'm pretty sure I told everybody that I was over in the EU, if you will, right? Poland. Shout out to my new Poland family. The hospitality was unreal. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. We'll have to dive into that at some other point, you know, because obviously people are here to talk about the Raiders. But yeah, man, I was
I imagine there's some interest in the NFL over there.
There's absolutely
some Raiders gear kicking around.
Hey, and that's the thing, man. So that I will say, and it just so happened that it happened literally on my day going home. But leaving Poland to no avail, it never ever disappoints. We had a Raider fan rocking Raiders gear, man, from Poland. I've not been anywhere where they aren't rocking something Raiders related. Honest truth. Everywhere I've gone, South America, Canada, right now the EU. I mean, it's a
part of the human culture, a global culture. It's not restricted to one country. It's many.
Yep, I agree, man. So yeah, it's oh man, so we do have people. Yeah, that's my guy. Now I gotta figure it out. Real quick. Why is my docs not working? Let's see. Will this allow me to? I don't think so. Man, it's up. But well, anywho, real quick, we got family cousin in the building, Steve Jones. What's up, Turf? Speaking of contracts, does Kuntz get a long-term deal this year? That's a great question, man. What do you think?
I think they're on that kind of prove it kind of time.
Right.
They really don't know if he's recovered from the injury, and to be fair, I don't think Kuntz really knows where he's at in terms of his comeback. Like, he didn't really show flashes. That's kind of the concerning part, is that he showed steady growth, but there was nothing that was like, damn, we gotta go all in on a bet. Like, it's kind of risk reward, and we're kind of hedging our bet on the side of we've maintained professional relations up till this point, and hopefully that will result in a team friendly deal if he's showing something that we can sign long term to.
Yep, I agree, man. I think we've been fortunate, right? Because for one, you didn't want to see a big major flash, right? Immediately, initially, in my opinion. I mean, because that could equal out to be something bad short term again in terms of injury. I like to see somebody gradually come back. So if it's earned, it'll be well earned, and it should be well given, in my opinion, from that respect.
But we did see that growth towards the end of the season. There was that steady progress, which is encouraging for this season, setting him up.
Yep, I agree, and that's where we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see if the rubber meets the road when the time comes. I think he's got all the ability, and I think it's definitely going to be a defensive team for obvious reasons, at least for these next few years.
Do you recall the feeling when we had AP at head coach? How heading into the season we were feeling like we had almost, I wouldn't call it a proven line, but it felt like we had the ceiling really high for that line because of a guy like Kuntz coming off of that huge flash with AP
absolutely. Yep, absolutely, man. I mean, man, before he got hurt, right? Just even before he got hurt, we really, really thought things were going in the right direction 100%. And everybody expected him to get a deal. And everyone was happy with giving it to him. And then, of course, not even into the first game yet. And he has the unfortunate issue.
Yeah, I mean, your muscles can be what propels you to that next level as an athlete, but can also be what sets your career back. If your muscles are so powerful and so tight, it can cause a lot of strain on the joints and ligaments. So I imagine his training regime is like incorporating a lot of sports science right now, and probably the Raiders are ensuring that it's the best it can be, because the Raiders want to sign their own draft picks to long-term deals. It benefits the team, it benefits the player. It's a win-win. So
it's a win all the way around. Yes, and it also benefits Mark Davis's pocketbook too. I'm sure he's very happy to build his team out of the draft, because those first contracts, right? You clearly absolutely are getting a deal, and those guys that do amount to be something usually outplay those contracts tremendously. So again, it's a win-win for everybody. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see.
To speak to that, just loyalty is never underrated, and it seems like in the NFL these days, it's incredibly hard to buy someone's loyalty, and so developing that relationship over many years and showing a player that you care about them beyond just the performance on the field, but their recovery as well, that goes a long way to ensuring those team-friendly deals that allow a player to comfortably retire with the team that drafted them versus feeling animosity or tensions, which is often the case, unfortunately, in the NFL.
You are absolutely right, man. And I don't know, man. I think at some point our luck has to change. It's been a very, very, very long time. That doesn't mean this regime will be it. This regime can possibly be what sparks the change. I'm hoping at the minimum that's what'll happen. To say that Kubiak and company is going to come in and win championships here, that's a slim situation, to be honest. Right? I mean, it just is. The reality is.
Step one, win important games.
Yeah, and being a rookie head coach with all kinds of other rookies and first, second year guys in other areas, particularly in front office. Those things just typically don't come to fruition like that. But hey, there's a first time for everything. I don't mind people being optimistic. Turf just is from the show me state at this point.
And one thing Kubiak does have going for him that guys like AP unfortunately didn't have going for him was there's a lot of league-wide belief in a Kubiak because of his father's success.
His pedigree. His pedigree.
He does have credibility in belief in him having success. Whereas a guy like AP, I believe there's a lot of people doubting his potential to have success. And for better or for worse, there are self-fulfilling prophecies where a guy like AP might have leaned into the undermining narratives and allowed him to not be the best he could be because of what was happening around him in the environment. Taking away from his expression of his coaching style. That I don't believe that's happening with Kubiak. I believe people are giving him the space to express himself, and he's going to live and die by choices he makes for this team.
I think that's super important. That is a huge point, and I couldn't agree with you more. he's definitely got way more leeway and choice in terms of what AP had, whether you love it or hate it. It's just facts, in my opinion. I mean, it was very clear after the fact, right? Even before that, even pre-hindsight, right? We all knew AP was 100% all in on Jaden Daniels and would have literally given up the farm for it. And then obviously after the fact, finding out Coupon Tom didn't even.
There was a switch. I think you would acknowledge that AP at a certain point was talking with extreme confidence and boldness and self-assurance, and that at some point leading up to the draft, that switched to being more like, let's do what is best for the team according to the decision makers versus him calling the shots. And that switch is where he really, it felt like, took his foot off the gas as far as keeping the momentum from the previous season going, allowing it to change course in a new direction.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, man. It was tough on everybody, man. There were a lot of people that, right, wanted AP. I can't say that there were a whole lot of haters.
Well, I would say the hate was coming from the disbelief in an unorthodox route, like he didn't pay his dues in the coaching trees,
right,
or what have you, which comes not necessarily from fans, but perhaps from peers and from opponents, like this kind of thing. Maybe they're not going to the media with these narratives, but inevitably you're going to feel a certain way if someone did something different than you did it. Like, that's just the natural human cognitive dissonance that emerges, is that you feel like you're justified in your path, and that someone who's doing it differently is in opposition.
100% correct. 100% correct. So only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. We're getting there. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I mean, one other thing I just wanted to bring up real quick before we hit a little quick commercial, if you will. New time, right? 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock West Coast. This works for you, right, Pigs?
Yeah. For the current setup, this is pretty ideal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Because hopefully this will be our new time moving forward. One of the main reasons is because Turf wants to get back to jiu-jitsu at night. You know, I love the morning class. Shout out to the Jits morning crew, man. But 6 a.m. is tough. And, you know, that's not to say I won't be back at 6 a.m. There will absolutely be some Mondays I go 6 a.m. just in sheer waking up. And right? Like, don't feel like sleeping. So go train. But yeah, it's time I get back to it. I got a little bit of time here coming up, right? Only going to a few games this season. And yeah, I'll have a little bit of time before everybody knows. Come January, Turf will be throughout the Big Ten. Shout out to them Gopher girlies and the Minnesota, University of Minnesota gymnastics team. We look to repeat. And yes, that's right, we, Turf includes himself, look to repeat to make it to the Final Four for 2 years in a row, which would just be unheard of in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, as I stated, we got this quick commercial, and you guys should all know who this commercial is by now, because it is none other than Chop Hub, right? Chop Hub, you've seen it. You've seen the clips. You've seen a lot of things going through it. So without further ado,
come back to the Creator Olympics. Up first, the fastest editing final. Fingers at the ready. 3, 2, 1, go! They're off. Look at lane 1. Hammer those shortcuts. Lane 2 is moving like a cheetah on espresso. Lane 3, more mouse than man right now. But lane 4, he's checking his phone. We roll straight into thumbnail throwing. Oof. 9 meters for Bree, 12 for Dak.
Chapo, don't you like how that commercial just kind of chop? Pun intended. Yeah. So we are also at this time that I love the most, because without y'all, right, we wouldn't have anything, man. So it is Chat Lives Matters time, and man, my dog is the first one to hit outside of Cuz and them. But we got Rob Floco. What's good, Crump? appreciate you for coming through, my dude, old teammate. Hope you enjoy the show. We got our main man, Sack, man. You know, Sack runs everything behind the scenes in these YouTube streets in terms of, having a wrench and so forth. So, Turf and Pigs family, appreciate you for coming through, man. Hope you enjoy the show. We got Steve Jones, cuz works for me on the East Coast. I'm definitely picking that up in terms of our new time, 5 p.m., right? Central. So I like to hear that. Hopefully it works for everybody else. Man, we got the Jaw Experiment. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Says Vita V just requested a trade from the Bucks. Whoa. I didn't hear that one. Did you hear that one?
The D lineman? Yeah, there's been talk of Vita Vega.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, we do need a nose tackle. I mean, we
Right.
got Cleveland in the draft. So that'd be a little bit of competition, which I think would be, a positive. You don't want to necessarily rely on a rookie to be holding
Right.
it down for the defense. I think a vet would go a long way. And it's someone Spytech probably knows pretty well, given his connection to the Bucks.
Exactly. Yep. No, I agree. It makes a lot of sense. And we got Sack saying, Steve, Bam Kuntz currently has a 1-year, $11 million deal. That's a great deal. I mean, for his
it's fair.
position. Yeah, right? It's fair.
Super fair.
I can deal with that. And then, man, we also got Jack Gustafsson. I can never pronounce it, man. 4490. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show, Jack. And this last one I'll put up there because, again, fellow teammate Sean King will be in Vegas next week for Arena Football Playoffs. I am not exactly which team that my dog is currently coaching, right? And it's his team that is, I know he is the head coach. And he is my wide receiver, man. My number one, literally wore the number one, Sean King, in junior college. And if it weren't for him and my other dog on the right-hand side, Big Dominique Hightower, no way Turf would have had the season he had. So shout out to Sean. Wish I could be there, man. I appreciate it. Man, I appreciate him. Like I said, I would not be anywhere I'm at without him today. And last but not least, the wife got that nice commercial for Chop Up. Sweet. All right, so let's dive on into it, man. We were talking about trades. Real quick, I did have one because there's a lot of chatter. And I don't know if it deserves, the chatter that it's receiving. But that's Jackson Powers Johnson, man. He's got a lot of chatter around him potentially being traded, and teams offering a second-round pick. What's your thoughts on JPJ?
I mean, I would take a second-round pick. I think JPJ could benefit from a fresh start, as with a lot of young guys in this league. They don't necessarily have the maturity to handle awkward tensions, which I think we've inevitably created quite a bit of with our relationship with him. And a new scene could definitely help alleviate a lot of those distractions, we'll call them. The whole coaching staff last year definitely, I think, hurt the trust in that whole O-line, especially the young guys with this organization. That directly is going to affect their bottom line, the money they're putting in their pockets, if the organization is doing them dirty like that with nepotism and such. And, I wouldn't be thrilled if I was planning on playing center and we gave the job to Meredith and then paid a dude the highest in the league. Despite Jackson Powers Johnson saying all the right things, I think it could benefit both parties if we get a second-round pick for him and he's able to play center for another team, like, say, Cleveland or what have you.
Right. And you know what? I agree with you, unfortunately. I was high on JPJ, but as a center. And that's where things fell off for Turf. Trying to fit, right, a square peg into a round hole, in my opinion, which is essentially putting him at guard, where he had his worst stats, etc.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty season by any metric, and the part that kills me is that his weakness, if there is an obvious weakness, it's his frame, his wingspan, his length, his lightness. He's a squat, kind of heavy-handed power bowling ball kind of guy. Like at center, that's perfect match because now he can help chip block and contribute to helping his guards. But at guard, he's kind of, I think, overmatched by longer, more athletic defensive tackles.
Yep, I agree, man. I totally agree. And while he's young, while he's still got his faculties, if you will, because that was another potential issue, if you recall, he was considered a risk out of college, right, due to the concussions and so forth. And he suffered with one on his rookie season with us and had to sit out some games. So fresh start, I think it makes a lot of sense for him to go on and move on.
I think he's going to be a fan favorite wherever he lands. His play style is very alluring to football fans. He's just someone that's easy to cheer for. But it's a double-edged sword because that same trait that gets him a lot of cheers also is the reason that he's on the mend quite often with injuries and concussions. Playing that reckless in situations that aren't necessarily adding to wins can kind of become very tiresome to fans that really love and know football, because you don't necessarily want to be taking full risk on every play. It's just not conducive to long-term sustained success. You need to be somewhat measured in your style of play, especially when you're taking a role like center, where you're needing to be there for the duration of the season, and you can't take games off because of concussions or hamstring issues.
No, exactly. And hey, even if it doesn't go through, I hope he's still battling for that guard spot. Right? I hope he changes it. Changes the whole perspective of it. He has to clearly know that that center situation is merely a backup role at this point, at best, even if he's the backup at this point. And really get after it at guard, because that's still a huge question mark, right? So if a trade doesn't get done, he's got to show something there, and maybe he can figure it out, right? It's not a complete, hey, it's impossible.
What is it you'd be looking for in a trade? Minimum second round pick, or?
I mean, that's what I would expect, right? Because he was a second round pick himself. Or no, third round. Second round. He was a second round pick.
He was. Some people were speaking of him as a first round pick, but his arm length alone would have not been first round pick precedent.
Right.
There's a reason centers often go in later rounds.
Correct.
They don't have long arms, and they're not generally the most athletic guy on the line, or the biggest, strongest guy on the line.
Right. No, I agree 100%. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's move on to what obviously was great news for the quarterback group and the Raiders in general. Fernando Mendoza signs his contract. Fernando Mendoza officially signed his 4-year, fully guaranteed rookie contract worth approximately $57.3 million with the standard 5th-year option, right? Team option, if you will. He was the final member of the 2026 Raiders draft class to sign, right? Now, which says we no longer have any other possible rookie holdouts. So what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, Mendoza signing was always the expected outcome. I think he was probably just doing what he was advised to do on behalf of his representation, and I'm sure the Raiders fully understood that. And much the same with McCoy. I think his unique health situation just required using every second allotted in order to work out every detail possible. And they weren't going to miss training camp. These guys are kind of ultimate professionals and want to be the best they can possibly be and view every single rep in training camp as gold. So they were going to sign 100%.
And that's the thing, man. It's really tough because the reality is the fans don't understand how the rookies really truly feel in this scenario, because it's in their best interest to just keep quiet, right? And absolutely say nothing about how they feel, because I can guarantee you, for the most part, they probably don't even care. I mean, seriously, they don't even, don't get me wrong, yes, they care about their money, but they much would rather be out there getting prepared and figuring it out, right? Nobody wants to be stuck, on the sideline because of money when they're trying to, not only win their starting position, but, really.
These are young dudes as well, and they've got reputations to uphold. A first overall pick is a burden of expectation right away. Guys are expecting something out of Mendoza, and if he doesn't show up 100% committed and in on this, then you end up with the Jamarcus Russell scenario, which is the flip side.
Yeah, we all know what that turned into. That was disastrous. Bye.
Yeah, we're hoping this is the opposite of that as far as outcome and tangible results and so on. If it can translate to wins ultimately, it doesn't matter how it happens, but hopefully he does everything in his power to make it turn out in a favorable way.
Right. Now, the other side of this is, now that the money has been paid, how long do you think he has? Right? You want to talk about Mendoza and Kirk's relationship, all those good things. And it's obvious that he's going to be sitting behind Kirk, right? But say for some strange, odd reason we are competitive this year. And say, Cousins is struggling, week 8. Are you willing and wanting to put in a Mendoza because you hear that he sounds great? Or do you kind of lean towards the, hey, no real true rookie quarterback is actually ready, if you will?
Yeah, we've discussed this in the past. My position is that the NFL is more graceful and easier now than ever for rookie quarterbacks to make an entrance. In the past, you would run the risk of a guy not knowing how to take a hit and ending up with injuries year one as a quarterback, or feeling shell-shocked and unable to progress and reading defenses.
Yeah, what's that guy's name in Giants? What's his name? Dart?
Dart, yeah, Dart's putting his head right in there. He's old school, Dart. He's not your typical quarterback. No. He's kind of a bit of a running back in a quarterback's position.
That's a disaster waiting to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Between him and Scatterboo, I don't know which one will it's in their career first.
Extremely high risk, and I imagine the Giants are going to have some insurance policies in place with their coach knowing that you need a quarterback for the whole season, not just parts of it. But yeah, as far as Mendoza starting, I have no reason not to believe that they won't give him an opportunity at the first moment that it would be justified. And that could be Kurt struggling, that could be Mendoza being dominant. Either or, it's going to beg the question. And I imagine Kubiak will pull the trigger sooner than later, because this first season and second season will be given a ton of grace as far as accepting learning bumps and what have you. It's kind of like the training wheels season is year one. Year two, you want to see improvement from year one. Year three, we're expecting solid wins throughout. But year 1 and 2, you really have to ensure that you're setting yourself up for that third year, because I think fans, if they don't see results in year 3, will start getting very anxious.
Very restless.
Yeah, and with AP, I truly believe that if he framed that first season as a development season, there would have been way less backlash to losing in the way that we were losing, because it seemed like we were a development team, just calling it like a dominant. We're gonna go beat everyone.
Right.
Team,
No,
us being a
absolutely.
development team, like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's important to frame realistic
100%, and that's where, again, we have a rookie coach, and I'm curious to see how he's going to operate in terms of the speeches he will be giving throughout the losses of the season. I'm just going to keep it honest with you.
It's important.
It's very important, and there will be losses, ladies and gentlemen. We have by far one of the toughest schedules in NFL. So be prepared, buckle in, man. That's going to be a serious rocky road, and it starts immediately, right?
When the discussion of losses comes up, I instantly think to the your daughter's experience on the Gophers this season after a heartbreaking emotional loss. There was the coach's rebound and the ability for the whole team to bounce back and ride that success into the playoffs.
It's a great point, man. And for the ones that's not knowing what he's referring to, and shout out to Nebraska, University of Nebraska. Look, I'm not going to just bash them, but they got a lot of work to do in terms of being a gymnastics, program that actually will make sense. And I mean, we had no business losing to them, like none. They could have literally done nothing. As they did, and still should have won and didn't. So that's what he's referring to as that bounce back, and pretty much that propelling them to get to the Final Four. And I think we lost Pigs. I'm not sure why. Hopefully he comes back here shortly. But in the meantime, I will keep things rolling. Let me see if I can hide him there. Yeah, I'll hide him real quick. And okay, there he is. He's back. He's back. You good over there? Uh-oh. Yeah.
You've just ruined the podcast.
Who
Called
did?
multiple times. And I got kicked off.
I can hear you.
No, you keep calling.
We can hear you, Pigs. I don't know if he can tell. I'll put him on hide real quick for a little bit. But yeah, 1 second. What were we talking about? Obviously, we were talking about the whole quarterback situation and Kirk Cousins, Mendoza. I will say this: I do like what's being said, if you will, right, in terms of how that relationship will be. He says it's more of a collaborative relationship as opposed to competitive. I believe that until I don't, meaning, hey, when the time comes, like I said, if Kirk isn't playing well, it absolutely will be competitive. And it will be competitive sooner than later. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because of the money we just paid. No owner, no matter the case, loves paying anybody $60 million to sit on the bench. That's an absolute guarantee. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, just think back to the previous quarterbacks that we paid, aka Minshew, right? AKA the kid that just went to, right, Geno Smith to the Jets, right? You're going to play those guys when you pay them. There's no question about it. 100% they're going to play in some capacity. It's just the way it works. It's really kind of no way around that. I don't know what else to tell anyone from that respect. It's like, hey, buying a new house and not living in it, right? I don't know. You can think of several situations to where that makes sense. But Pigs is back.
Yeah, Some technical difficulties. Yeah.
Yes, sir. If it's not you, it's me. So it's rarely you. So you know, don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're holding it down. What's the topic?
Oh yeah, I was just buttoning up the whole scenario in terms of you know, Mendoza, you know, kind of saying him and Kirk is more of a collaborative thing, and I was just explaining, it's collaborative now until, you know, Kirk isn't being competitive on the field, and that's where it will become very competitive because no owner likes paying anyone $60 million to sit on the sideline. So
do you reckon Kubiak strongly believes in Kirk? There's a belief from our coach in him.
100%.
Because they worked together previously, so they have that relationship.
Yes, and that's the thing. I mean, that's the positive thing we have in this. If this isn't working, it's definitely a guarantee for Kirk to sit down. It's time to call it a career. You know, he's got his guy. I think his best numbers came under Kubiak, right?
Yeah. Well, definitely a revival at a time when people thought he was trending down. He just went right back way up,
straight through the roof. So I think it's important for him to really ride this wave of energy he's gotten. I mean, they went out and got a wide receiver for him that he's very you know, aware of and has played with him in the past and seemed to have a good rapport. Hence why I think they went and got him and have not looked at many other receivers, including a number one. Which
and they paid him pretty fairly as well, like more than fairly.
Naylor?
He's being paid to produce. Yeah,
absolutely.
They trust him. That's why they're paying him, because they trust him.
Yep. So I mean, but with that being said, there was some news that I heard through the grapevine that we actually worked out some wide receivers. Two of them to be exact. Is that something you would consider to be a shocker?
Well, no, I heard it was kind of open workouts for a bunch of positions, but there was a number of wide receivers in particular that were kind of standout guys. But I think even running back, there was a bunch of workouts, maybe linebacker as well. And it seems to make sense to me that the Raiders, more than any team, are kind of the team to play for if you're just a great athlete or a guy who's interested in testing their mettle. So why not have open doors to workouts and test your coaches, like ask them to evaluate guys and see if what they're seeing makes sense, and critique your coach's evaluation skills, because it's just another opportunity to sharpen skills by running these kinds of programs, and it does nothing but benefit us. If we get one guy in a couple of years, then it's worth it.
Right. No, I agree. I was watching Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Club Shay Shay, right? He had on all of his guys from his first Super Bowl. I should say all, but right, quite a few. And one of the things that
Terrell Davis and the linebacker, our linebacker.
Yes. Romanowski. Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, he is his best friend apparently stated, you know, that was one of the big things that Shannon Sharp had taught him was when you see those workouts going on, you better believe you need to be out there working out, starter or not, right? Because the bottom line is they're looking to replace you. Period.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are. And if you're not there working out too, right? You're just giving somebody else a shot to sneak up on you and get your spot. So you want to be seen around these particular quote unquote workouts when they're probably voluntary, right? And things along those lines. But yeah, apparently back then, every Tuesday or Tuesdays was the day that they would hold these type of workouts. So
that's cool. I'm glad that they're giving it media attention and it's kind of become a focus. I think that to me as a fan, I'm interested in seeing that people grinding it out at the the Kurt Warner levels of trying to break into the NFL at all means, by all means necessary, kind of thing. And it's a very compelling story, and I think adds to the feeling that the players experience in that environment, seeing people willing to sacrifice, and then you, as someone seeing that, understand the weight and the gravity of the situation. Like, if you're taking something for granted when you see someone else, risking it all just for one opportunity like that, it puts things in different contexts.
Absolutely, and it just prepares you. That's how I look at it. It really, truly prepares you accordingly. It's a tough business, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, every year. I mean, of course, a lot of the pros that are well off and right, they know their position's pretty much solid. Even those guys, man, they know what it takes to do in the off season in order to keep that, right? So you better believe they are absolutely busting their ass on all occasions to
a
keep
player that comes to mind for this conversation is Tyreek McAllister, our running back. He's been going back to the CFL between seasons and playing there and balling out, like getting huge numbers and touchdowns on receiving, rushing, special teams. So he kind of pops in for us on the preseason and kind of trying to make the roster, but then is back to the CFL, putting in work, developing, and getting better. He's 28 right now, so he's kind of like in that moment of reaching his climax as far as speed and athletic ability as a running back. So if he puts it together, that could be pretty massive for us. Like, we need a return specialist and a running back depth.
Yeah, and I didn't know he was still on the team.
Because he balled out in the CFL recently and then came back.
Right. I love it, man. I always had high hopes for that kid. I thought he would complement the running back room pretty good. I think he's another guy with 4.3 speed, right? I'm pretty sure.
Super explosive.
He's got wheels, man. So I would love to see that. And to be honest, I don't know why he wasn't, returning instead of Laube.
I chalked that one up just to the fact that we put draft capital into Laube.
That's what it
McAllister was free 99. Like,
yep. And again, that good old saying, when you pay for something, you want to see it used, right? I think that's absolutely what the deal is and was with Laube. If this kid makes this roster this year, man, I swear I will shut up about him, and not only that, I will praise him for the entire season. If he makes this roster,
this is make or break. Yeah.
I'll praise him because I do not understand it. But hey, Kubiak,
has he had any flashes in your opinion?
No,
none. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he fumbled. So I come from the old school, ladies and gentlemen. You can be the best running back in the league, but if you're fumbling the ball, you will be the best running back in the league on the sideline. Period. Mm-hmm. You can't cough up the rock, man. And the kid has troubles, right, with not coughing up the ball. I mean, first play he's ever had coughed up the rock. And I mean, his carry to fumble ratio is horrible, considering. So maybe he'll get it fixed, right? Tiki Barber had that very same issue late in his career, right? Not initially, but towards the mid to later years of his career, he started having fumbling issues, and it was noticeable that he changed his style in general, right? Keeping that ball high and tight instead of the way he used to run with it, and it made a difference. So. Not saying Laube can't make a difference for himself. I just think that our running back room is outstanding. And the fact that we still have McAllister, too, on top of that, I really don't see where he fits.
Yeah, I liked Laube as kind of a character on the team, but I never really saw an NFL frame or body. And that right away became apparent, like from the first play, was that he wasn't able to take contact and find the ground without it blowing up in his face in dramatic fashion. And every one of those hits getting played on repeat in highlights is just not helping this team develop an identity of toughness and domination. Like, that just shows extreme, almost like incompetence, because why are we running our tiny running back at like their star defensive ends? Like, it looks like we set Lauby up when we ran him. Who was it? Bosa? We ran him at Bosa. Like, it looked like a bad play call and horribly executed, and just it definitely hurt his development. Like, that was partially on our coaching staff. Like, just we did not set him up for success.
No, I agree. That's a good point. I mean, he was never. A lot of our players have not been set up for success here, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But what are you gonna do, right? I really blame Mr. Peter Carroll for the lack of development of the guys we have now. What, in their second year, or is it third year? Some of them.
Lauby will be a third year.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just sometimes that's the way it goes, and you know, hey, you got to take your lumps, and some people can move on and be put in better situations, right? I think JPJ was a casualty of the whole Carroll deal, in a lot of ways. It hurts my heart. what we don't know. You know?
I don't want to trade JPJ, but I could see it benefiting him to have a fresh start. Like, it's too strange what's happened thus far. Like, just the almost like undermining of development has not been a thing that builds trust.
Right. No, absolutely. I don't see how he would trust us either. Right. I'll just be honest. I don't see any reason for him or a lot of people, you know, to trust us, if you will. But shout out to Rapallo and Miss Angelica Williams. Finally got TikTok back up and running. We used to have a lot of viewers from TikTok, but as everyone knows, it's not just Turf. TikTok likes to mess with everybody for some strange, odd reason. But we up and running, so we're there. We're there. All right. Let's see what else we can talk about. I don't know what McCoy signed for. Do you know by any chance?
I know that he got some guaranteed, because I think that was what the dispute was over, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, me neither. Let me take a real peek. Let me take a peek real quick and see if it gives us. Yeah, he's a fourth rounder. Let's see if they give us any stats and numbers on him.
I know we paid that defensive end, who is a undrafted free agent, a significant amount of guaranteed. What was his name? Sloan or something like that?
Really?
Yeah, I sent you that picture, or that little clip where it was showing his guarantees equaled all the UDFAs we've signed together's guarantees, and more. So this one guy, wow, a defensive end who they're calling Max Crosby Light, is received quite the payday as a UDFA.
Wow, undrafted. That's crazy. That's news to me. I mean, well, that kind of definitely puts a damper.
It's Sloan, Kane Sloan from North Carolina State.
I remember that pick. Man, that
272,000 in guarantees, which is a massive amount for a UDFA.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's almost the rookie salary.
Yeah, that's
cheers to him. I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it.
They must have been having a draftable grade on him, and probably other teams were after him, and so there was a little bit of needing to sweeten the pot in order to get him to sign with us. Right,
and I mean, to tell you the truth, that also should really tell Coons, you know, hey, you know, and not to say just Coons, but hey, Max too, right? I mean, maybe that was due to the ability of potentially still trading a Max Crosby, which at this point, I'll admit it, I don't want that to happen anymore because I just don't think we're going to get the value back. If we were to get that value, I will be okay with it, but yeah, I don't see it. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think Max is going to get the trade value that we want just because he is older. He's got recent injuries and hasn't really played in big games to prove himself, like on that postseason kind of stage. So it's just hard for another team to cough up assets for a player that has risk. And I think Baltimore pulling out of that deal it certainly hurt his trade value, so I don't see it happening in the future. I think he's with us for his career now at this point.
Right.
And that's probably for the best.
Yep.
I think Max goes a long way for handing on the baton to that next generation of players with us, kind of setting the bar and the expectation for the next wave of leaders. And normally, historically, I think coaches were responsible for that, but now players are kind of taking that upon themselves, which hopefully Max will do.
Yep. And obviously, I finally found those numbers for you guys. McCoy signed 4-year rookie contract. Approximately $5.5 to $5.7 million, featuring a signing bonus of about $1.3 million. So, congrats to McCoy, man. I mean, we're hearing that he's ready to play week 1. There is no knee issues, right? They didn't have to ease him back in, if you will. I'm excited. I mean, this could be the steal of the draft, potentially.
Yeah, he's easily the biggest wild card in the whole draft as far as potential to surpass his draft slot from day one. And people having that expectation that he will play like a first rounder.
Yeah, it's Will Johnson-esque, right? I mean,
yeah, he's got instinct. You can't train that. Either have it or you don't.
I know everyone and their mother is kicking themselves for allowing that Will Johnson issue, right? Injury, allowed them to pass up. Oh, I mean, right now I'd trade that. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the part with cornerbacks that kills me is that often it seems that it's a very high risk, high volatility position. So paying a guy is almost like a huge liability. So you really need to draft guys who are super talented and have a deep room, because inevitably 2 or 3 guys are going to get hurt in a season, and you'll need your depth to play like starters. So I think we finally are starting to see that on our roster, is having high value depth at the 3rd, 4th roster spot at cornerback, which I'm super excited about, because that's my favorite position on the roster is DBs.
Yep. And I mean, right now it's one of the biggest question marks across the board on both sides of the ball, really. I don't consider the receivers to be a question mark. It's just a bad situation. It's just a bad deal. We don't have a number 1 wide receiver. I'm sorry. I don't know anyone that thinks we do. And I don't think we're going to find one working one out. I honestly was hoping that we would be able to get a Justin Jefferson or, something along those lines that would make a big, huge splash. But at this point, I don't see that happening. So I don't know, man. And it's hard to think you're going to pull that in the draft. You know what I mean?
We had him right there, but we took Ashton Janty instead of Teteroa McMillan. But McMillan, in my opinion, was a number 1 dude, and he's right there.
And he is a number 1 dude right now. He's showing that. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's a lot of issues. Man. I hate to bring it up, but this is where Jack Bush comes into play.
Yes.
He's a
going to have to make a big
pick,
jump.
man.
Mm-hmm.
2nd round pick. And he's not showing. You don't hear anything about him.
I think on purpose, they don't want expectations too high, because I think that first season for a second round pick was very underwhelming, to say the least. And so allowing him to develop without the spotlight on him will be best for the Raiders, because I think Tyree developing with that spotlight on him just did not work at all. And had he been a second round pick, he would have been able to develop without that spotlight. But that spotlight was too bright for him to develop.
He's just a bad player. I will be shocked if he ever turns the corner, if you will. But again, it's easy to say that, the way we see it. But the reality is, he too has had how many coordinators now? You know what I mean? In terms
he's
of,
still an athletic freak. He doesn't scream football player.
Correct.
So whoever his coach is has to bring something out of him that we were unable to do.
Or find some new position. I don't think he will amount to being a long-term player personally. I give him a few more years and he'll be out of the league.
I'm more hyped about our UDFA Sloan than I ever was about Tyree.
100%. And rightfully so. I think the Sloan kid definitely deserves the hype. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, money speaks. Money talks. They paid him.
Being signed as an undrafted free agent. And I don't know. So we have signed everybody. That would include one of my favorites, right? Which is Hemby, right?
Yeah.
Hemby's been signed. Shout out to Hemby. That says a lot. I mean, that says a lot. And I'm sorry, but Lauvie, your time is limited. It has to be. There's no question. Shout out to LKM 377's in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. He says Tyree is lazy. That's hilarious. I mean, I wouldn't disagree, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, I won't disagree. Shout out to Game Recognized Games. Raider Nation in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. And last but not least, man, we got Raiders Unleashed. What's good, y'all? Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hope you enjoy the show. We got a question from Cuz. We giving up on Thornton? That is a great question because I gave up on Thornton last year. I think he should be part of our All-American flag football team. I think he will be amazing as a flag footballer. But outside of that, I didn't like anything I saw from that young man in terms of with pads. And I mean, hey, maybe that's me. I mean, turf has been harsh on a lot of people, right? Won't be the first time, and it's definitely not going to be the last. But me personally, I'm done with that kid. If I could trade him for something, anything, I would. What's your thoughts on Thornton?
I really think Thornton was the least polished draft pick in the class, so I didn't really have expectations for him at the gate, and I really think that year 3 is the year to judge a guy like him, as opposed to a Tyree. We were always talking year 3 is when we're going to see something. I think Dante Thornton is got the body size and type of frame that I do really think he needs 2-3 years of NFL muscle strengthening conditioning in order to be able to put on muscle on that type of frame, because he is so long, and really long muscles are hard to add mass to. And you could see it if he was just a little bit stronger last year, he would have been able to work through some of the contact and get those more contested balls, which is going to make a huge difference in being able to deploy him in the offense. Because relying on him to beat everybody with speed is just not realistic in the NFL, so he's going to have to fight for tough catches as well downfield, which he's going to be able to do in a year or two's time with that extra strengthening and conditioning, which hopefully he's putting in the work in the offseason, because at everyone, he's going to be the guy that will make the biggest development gains through putting on that extra weight. If he comes back 10 pounds heavier with a little less speed, I'd be happy with that.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad with that either. I just don't see. I think the game is still too physical for him, And that's wild because it doesn't get any less physical than 2026 in the NFL for wide receivers in the secondary. I mean, they can barely breathe on you. You know,
rules are favoring the wide receiver.
They're favoring wide receivers, and he played so gentle. And I'll just
didn't have strong hands, didn't fight through contact,
he
didn't look determined to get the ball.
And anything.
Kind of questionable awareness of his body in space, but I think he was playing a bit like Bambi, just not really understanding his body and his frame, but that will come with a good offseason and with dedicated training regimes. So as long as he's not playing Call of Duty and he's putting in the time on the field, then I think we're good as a fan base. But if we find out he's been not developing, we got to cut ties sooner than later, because wide receiver, big X guys bust all day, every day. They do. So you got to move on to the next guy sooner than later. Don't waste too much time if it's not working out. But I think he could make the biggest jump if he does put in that time.
Man.
The bar's so low.
It's low for you, right? See, I got caught up in the hoopla. See, this is, again, another example as to why turf is no longer a glass is half full, right? It's because, right, you go through all of this to hear, oh, well, if you go back to his Oregon days, his route running was much better, right? You go back to here, you look at these places where people want to just cherry pick things to make their narrative and their point be well.
Yeah. The reason he was drafted was for speed, not his route running in Oregon.
Exactly, but everyone wanted to have something to say about that, which gave me more hope. And I'm tired of that.
Capable.
I knew what I saw, ladies and gentlemen. I knew he didn't have any route running skills, capabilities. I knew that, but I still allowed, quite frankly, you all to lead me astray.
The masses.
The masses. And I'm just tired of it. Just like these people that think we're going to win 7-8 games. It's just ludicrous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Thornton does have that unique frame, though, so not everybody is built 6'5", running 4.2s. Like, it just doesn't happen.
No, I agree, but he's going to need Randy Moss and
he needs a hell of a
Megatron. He's going to need everybody that was his height to give
Julio
him
Jones,
any kind
everyone. I've seen some big X's with expectations come into the league and really disappoint. That even guys like Megatron were kind of trying to help develop and kind of cultivate that next X wide receiver in the league. There's so many players that have the potential to be a big X. It's just the number one bust rate in the draft is the big X receiver. So
right.
I think we should just continue drafting that position, and eventually someone will pop. But until then,
well, there is one player that I've heard some things about, and that is Malik Benson, right?
Oh,
I heard some confident things from him. It's a little scary for me because there's no secret that y'all know my guy is my guy, right? We're talking about Trey Tucker.
Oh, Jersey
Shout out
patch.
to Trey and family. I mean, that's his position. And from what I'm hearing, he has been kicking up dust. He's been somebody to look at in these camps. So that'll be interesting. Is it possible for him to, create some situations in terms of that wide receiver room that may have it looking so desperate, if you will, to actually being somewhat formidable? I'm not sure. I think it's still going to be way too much. He's a rookie, right? Obviously, I think Trey Tucker has his position pretty much solid, right? I think it's his to give up, if you will. And I'll be shocked if we see a whole lot of them in preseason, right? I think you're going to see a lot of these younger guys It'll be very interesting to see how Jack Best does. I mean, there's guys that are going to have to play, right? And I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know. And shout out to Ale, because you are right. Shed Jackson can run a 4.2 740. And if you guys don't know who Shed Jackson is, I believe that is the nephew, right, of the great Bo Jackson. So he's also something to look at. He is on our roster still, correct?
Yeah, spots are available, and guys just have to make some splash plays in the preseason to get a spot on the roster, because we don't have people locking down those positions. Like, you could be the number one wide receiver for the Raiders if you ball out.
That it's very possible, man. I think we all know that Naylor is an absolute shoo-in for the number 2 spot, right? I think that's. I don't think they'd ever try to make
smart,
him
mature.
Yeah, I don't think they try to make him the number 1. I think that position is up for grabs. So it'll be interesting to see. Shout out to Rebel. Says Turf, you going to the joint practice as well as the preseason? And that's in Houston. I'm not sure, man. I have to see what those dates look like. I just got back from Poland, so I'm still a little jet lagged, if you will. And then, right, next week, I'm headed to Iowa. Shout out to the Junior Olympics and all of the kids that made it. As you guys know, my son will be running the 100-meter hurdles, the 200-meter hurdles, the 4x4, and the 400-meter dash. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be a lot of travel for me. We'll see, but more than likely, I'm definitely going to the game itself. Just gotta figure out where to get the time and all that good stuff. But I'm pretty sure I'll definitely do the game.
So
just drive.
They're doing joint practices with the Texans, aren't they?
Yes.
What's
then
going
we have
opening preseason with them as well.
Right.
Wow, that could be pretty big time as far as the Texans are a pretty solid team. So as far as getting a benchmark of where we're at,
yep. Alec M just stated it. Yeah, Texans defense is tough. I mean, top 3 defense in the league, right?
Yeah, really solid team.
I love the Texans, man, and in fact, they are my favorite Texas team. Go figure. I mean, that's easy to do though, because we all know Turf absolutely despises the Cowgirls. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't stand that team. I can't stand their fans. My own mama is a fan of it. I love my mama, but the rest of y'all.
What's the fan breakdown in your town where you're at?
It's all Dallas. Dallas and
it's all Cowboys?
100%. The Cowboys and the
Texans are the small, or the underdog.
Small market.
Yeah.
You got it. It's hard to find they don't want to admit it, right? that's part of the problem. They don't even want to admit that they're Texans fan. My homeboy that listens, man, shout out to Jeremy, man. One of my jiu-jitsu guys. He's a Texans fan. He's from Houston. Yep.
You're in a place called Pflugersville. That's what you said. Yeah,
Pflugersville, Texas, baby.
That's a funny name, but I seen that the other day pop up because I was looking for cars, because I'm still shopping around for cars. But yeah, there's the one car in particular is very rare, and there's not many for sale, but one is for sale in Pflugersville of all places.
Yes, a German town, one of the largest German towns, probably the second largest in the state of Texas. I think New Braunfels would be considered the number 1 German town. It's actually quite a big city. Now, it wasn't when I first moved here. But nevertheless.
Different sound. Pflugersville.
Yeah, starts with a P, right? The P is silent. PFLGERVIL.
Definitely different.
AKA the Ville. That's what I call it. The Ville.
That's cool.
Yeah, and believe it or not, the Pirine brothers, both of them, one got a Super Bowl, I want to say, with the Chiefs. He's out of my kid's high school, Hendrickson High School. And then Jade Barron, number 10 draft pick, I want to say, in 2025, that went to the Donkeys.
Yeah, he played for the Texans, the Longhorns. Yeah, Barron.
He's a Texas native through and through, born and raised in Pflugerville, Conley High. Yeah, we got some monsters that came out of this city, man. It's pretty impressive too, as far as per capita, all that good stuff. But it's one of the reasons why Turf moved here, man. The competition is real. It is. Yep. So, all right, man. We got about 15, 20 more minutes, man. What else? Can you think of anything else? Is there anything on your brain that?
I mean, it's always good, I think, to touch on the Tom Brady topic, just out of just because it's so central to the Raiders these days is Tom Brady. Just whatever he's doing is going to impact our team, and I think it's never going to be underrated, his influence on why things are the way they are moving forward.
I agree. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of Tom Brady, the part owner, right?
Yeah, he's done very little to earn applause. Like, it's so far kind of we're still kind of wondering what he's contributing.
I do thank him for going after what I consider the best quarterback in the league at this point, which is Matthew Stafford, right? He threw the kitchen sink at him. So I applaud him for that. I thank him for that. But I think he's strategically making mistakes everywhere else.
And
it's very obvious.
It seems he's too proud to ever acknowledge any weakness too, so he's always going to pass that blame on to someone else. Someone else will take the fall for his mess ups.
100%. It's like he gets to throw stones and hide. I don't like it. And he's always going to have the ability to say, wasn't me. And nobody will know if it was him or not, right? The only people that are going to know is those people in that room, and no one's ever going to speak.
Yeah, I agree. And guys who have the ability to call them out will just never do it. Like the media, no one's going to call Tom Brady out. It's just not going to happen.
He's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's already crowned Mendoza, right? Hasn't he? He's pretty much, given his great graces and feels like he's the next thing. It's way too soon. Like, what are you doing, Tom? Which one are we going with here? Are you gonna have him sit the whole year like you had to until Bledsoe's injury, if you will, or something along those lines, or are you gonna talk this kid up like he's Plunkett or something? Like, I don't understand.
That could be a serious tension point, is if there is a disagreement between Brady and Kubiak as far as the implementation of a Mendoza and kind of the push-pull dynamic that unfolds there, maybe a power struggle of sorts as the season's unfolding. Kind of maybe Brady feels Mendoza ought to be plugged in, as you're saying, earlier than Kubiak wants, and Kubiak is perhaps wanting the stability of Kurt, but Brady wants the applause of everyone saying Brady made the right call with Mendoza.
Yep. And shout out to my dog, Jack Henner. Turf and guest host the nation. Salute, brothers. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hope you enjoy the show, man. We got another question from family. Does Mike Mayer remain next year? He needs a team-friendly one, though. That's a great question, man. I think Mayer, I think he got a raw deal. I'm not gonna lie. And this goes back to where, Turf was salty, right? At the draft, drafting yet another tight end back to back.
Yeah, fair enough.
And again, that's where it's like, if you were going to do that and you knew it was a possibility, why wouldn't you have already had something in place, right? Because clearly Mayer had to feel some kind of way. And I think he showed it in a lot of ways, whether it be his issues, right, that he had and couldn't play for whatever that was, right? Not trying to get into the player's personal space. But I don't know, man. He definitely has to feel some kind of way, and I just don't know. I mean, we should be running a lot of 12 personnel at this point without having a number one wide receiver. So maybe it works out, but maybe not. I don't know. What's your thoughts on Mayer, man?
I mean, I've kind of shared my two pieces on him in the past. I was not a big fan of trading up to draft a tight end. I think tight ends generally are very difficult to predict development for. So a guy like Mayer coming from Notre Dame, where he wasn't necessarily going against the top tier defenses, he was going against a lot of variability, and he was dominating kind of the lower end guys, but then we didn't really see him match up against the Georgias and the Michigans and what have you. So his play thus far in the NFL is kind of to expectation. He has a lot of solid traits, but they don't necessarily blow you away when he's going up against competition that is also very good. He kind of looks very average, in my opinion, and I don't see us re-signing him. I see him wanting to go to another team where he's more of the feature guy. So it's kind of a shitty situation for him.
It is, bro. I think it's a bad deal, bro. I think it's a bad deal.
Yeah, I don't want to force him the ball. I don't want to try and pump his numbers, and I kind of am fearful that that's what we're going to end up doing, just in order to try and get him to stay here.
Yep. Nope. Makes sense, man. And we got Jack with another fabulous question. What do you think of the Raiders bringing in Miles Sanders for an interview? And for the people that don't know who Miles Sanders is, right? He's a 28-year-old running back. Played at Penn State before being drafted by the Eagles in the second round in 2019. And I believe he's played for a few teams. Carolina, and I say last, I think it was Dallas, right? I think he had a one-year contract with Dallas last year. And, his career numbers, 4,462 rushing yards, 24 rushing touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry, ladies and gentlemen, 183 receptions for 1,200 receiving yards, and he went to the Pro Bowl in 22.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers look pretty solid, especially, obviously, on the better team. He looked a lot better. Dallas, he wasn't really used at all, but in Carolina, pretty average, but Carolina wasn't necessarily blowing people away in those years. But in Philadelphia, all his stats were very efficient in Philadelphia.
Right. I mean, technically, he's doing better than our running back, right? With a 4.7 yard per carry average. That's outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. FYI, I don't think that kind of productivity, I'm a little shocked he's not being used more across the board in general. Could we find a spot for him on the roster? Absolutely. If we're keeping four running backs, I could see him being that fourth guy. Easy, right? Again, special teams, I'm not sure if he's got any, you know what I mean?
Yeah, returned kicks at Penn State.
He did, right? That's what I thought. And yeah, Jack, I think you're absolutely right. It would be Sanders and Hemby. I think those are the last two. Depending on what happens there, I think it's pretty obvious it's a shoo-in for Mike Washington Jr., right? I think he is definitely part of the quote-unquote new 1-2 punch. So we're looking for that third person. And I mean, Sanders might be the answer, even more so than who I love. You guys know I love Hemby. But I can't, right? Hemby has not played it down in the NFL. Mr. Sanders is absolutely vetted. He's guaranteed somebody that can fill the role, if you ask me. Why he didn't play much for Dallas or right?
Injury.
Yeah, injury. So, hey, that's something to be worried about, right? Maybe that's where Hemby becomes more beneficial in terms of, right, the best ability is availability. And that could be where he capitalizes on, right, his rookie season and Sanders being left out, if you will. But again, if we have him in the building, I didn't know that. I just don't see how Laube can make it. I just don't see it. And yeah, I get you, Jack. I don't mind going with youth either, especially where we are right now. But to be honest, I don't think any of these players are really going to matter, right? In 5 years, for the most part, we're just buying time, if you will, and building, like you're saying, positions to where you can go youthful. And I think that's part of what getting somebody like a Sanders will do for you. Because if we get him this year and he holds his weight, you can get another young guy, right? You can get another young guy that may beat out Hemby, for that fourth position, or even Sanders himself, right? But the ideal goal is to get younger, to build through the draft, and no real, you don't see a lot of winners that build through free agency. So I agree. I'm with you. Yeah. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Like, you generally will want to lean into youth, especially at the running back position. Sanders obviously is a high ceiling, high talent guy, but he's also older, has some injuries, and a lot of his success did come on an elite team, and then he didn't look so great on a below average team. So with us, if we are below average and he just looks below average, it's like, why are we using that spot on a guy when we could be developing someone, say a Hemby, and allowing him to be a part of the future, the 5, 6, 7 year plan versus just the two-year plan, which is more what you get with Sanders.
And one other thing to note here, Jack, guys are just getting older in general, right? A 28-year-old Sanders, I mean, that's really not old this day and age, in my opinion, of what you're going to start to see. Because you're going to see a lot of 26-year-old rookies. Guaranteed. No question. I don't see the rules changing anytime soon. You're going to definitely get 5 years guaranteed in the NCAA. And most of these guys are absolutely going to play their 5 years because their rookie contracts won't touch what they'll make in college, right? That's just the hardcore facts. And guys are going to be going to college later. They're not going to go in at 17, 18. They're going to go in at 18, 19.
Yeah, because you got to develop your body to go against guys who are already more developed, 25, 26-year-olds. So taking a year to redshirt is going to be more and more popular.
Yep, everything's getting pushed. So getting younger is going to be extremely hard, right? It's like they've created the NFL in college. I mean, I hate to say it, and I still can't comprehend why. I think the NFL is just being way too arrogant. I would have had my nose in this a long time ago. I would have been lobbying a long time ago. I want my rookies no older than 23 years old. Period. Right? I mean, it's absolutely going to affect the game. I don't know how anybody can't see that. And as I've been saying, man, kiss us seeing any kind of records being broken goodbye. That's gone. Like, everything you see in the league as far as records now moving forward, they will be impossible to be broken. Impossible.
Careers will be shorter.
Oh, big time. I mean, who's going to have a 10, 12-year career now in the NFL, right? Because they're guaranteed to get 5 years out of college. And with those 5 years in college, that money is going to be comfortable. So when they do get to the NFL and realize, right, it is what it is.
Yeah, maybe they won't be sacrificing for that NFL paycheck.
Exactly, right? They're going to
might already have investments or social media influence at that point from college.
There will be so many things, right? It's an interesting time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that. That's from every aspect. I mean, you got Elon Musk, Elon Musk, yeah. Right, he's
doing funny things all the time.
He's absolutely saying that money won't even matter come 2036, right? Because of what you would consider to be deflation. And it makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. the reason that there's inflation, right, is because there aren't enough people to do enough work in order to have those particular materials, right? Those things. Once the workforce becomes completely automated with robots, it'll be the exact opposite, right? Because they don't need 8 hours of sleep. They don't care about sweatshops, right? They just pump out product 24/7, 365. There will be an abundance for anything materialistic from that respect. I mean, you're starting to see it in the software space, right? Once again, shout out to Chop Hub, our sponsor. It's almost like a perfect time for a commercial, huh? But yeah, I mean, right? Let's be honest. They have a lot of competition, right? In terms of Chop Hub, they have every other chopping video hub that you can find, whether it be Opus, or these others I hate discussing. But yeah, that competition is abundant, and I don't see that changing. And you're just going to get a lot of that, not only from the software world, but from everywhere else. So it's going to be interesting. We live in very interesting times, for sure.
Yeah. My big concern for the future, just as far as the things you just touched on, is the quality of things that you're putting into your body, your consumables.
Yes.
They've not been good in the past, and I don't see it getting better. So it's a little scary. And so far as even if you have money, can you even access something of quality? Like, that's kind of the scary part, is money won't necessarily guarantee you having access to the things that you would value as an individual in this current iteration of the planet. In the future, it might be different.
Right.
Just having access to something like fresh fruits and vegetables without genetic modifications and proprietary chemicals all over it. Companies want full control, and your old school heirloom piece of corn might be considered like contraband in the future.
You're absolutely right, man. And a lot of the racket has been, in my opinion, because of the healthcare system, or lack thereof, if you will, in the States. Hey, maybe that's something Pigs and I can discuss, right? Because a lot of people point to Canada for healthcare and the healthcare system. And there are some people in Canada, I don't know which way Pigs leans, like, right, it's a great thing, he's happy with it, or if it's like,
Yeah. I mean, healthcare, I don't believe in corrective medicine. I believe in preventative medicine. I think that your best investment is putting good medicine in your body to begin with, so you don't end up in the negative health category where you need the intervention to get out of the problem that you dug yourself into. So I think the Canadian healthcare system in theory is good, but it doesn't do anything preventative as far as making the society healthier.
Right.
We've sold out to big tobacco, big alcohol, big chemical, big whatever, just as much as anybody. And the healthcare system is a crutch in order to alleviate the problems those big everything creates.
You're 100%. It's not
a good situation.
Yes, it's not a fix.
It's a crutch.
It's a crutch, and
it gets shitter year by year.
And they want to keep
people
you
need
there.
it.
They want to keep you there. With that, we probably got this whole thing striked, and we'll probably X my.
Healthcare is very controversial.
It's beyond controversial. And all I can say is, I would absolutely lean upon myself before I lean upon any medication, as in what Pigs is referring to.
A giant multinational,
man,
multi-billion-dollar entity that is supposedly looking out for you.
I didn't touch Vicodin, right? Percocets, none of that stuff in college. And I had major surgery twice on my ankle.
Okay.
It was just one of those things that I saw, and I was very adamant on not taking that, especially with my addictive personality, etc. There was just no way I wanted to be hooked on that. I would rather go through the excruciating pain, which I didn't have to, right? There are other, medications, not as harsh as, but you have to be aware.
There's always options. We've lived on the planet for hundreds of thousands of years without these giant multinational corporations that tell you they have the only solution in town and they're the only game in town. Inevitably, we've been here much longer than them, and we'll be here much longer than after they're gone. So humans, like, what we do is we adapt. If you're in pain, you learn to live with that pain. Like, making the pain go away is not always the best solution. If there's a trade-off that involves, say, your organs shutting down so that you don't feel pain, like, that's not a good solution.
It's not.
Better to feel the pain and live through it, learn to live with it, versus sacrificing your other organs in order to feel better.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm going through it right now with the spondylum. Anybody that knows the spondylolisthesis, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but basically your back is broken. And it has been broken at some point throughout your life, and eventually it catches up with you. It's caught up with me, but
is that nerve related, or what is the kind of
yeah, it depends on where at in your back. Mine is at the very bottom tail end.
Okay.
I knew this in my 20s, so this was something that was brought through when I was playing college ball.
Well, the things in healthcare industry that I find interesting are things that are tried, tested, and proven over generations, over centuries, over millennia. And so when you look at the oldest traditions, like the Chinese medicine tradition, that game's been going on for thousands of years, like acupuncture and so on and so forth. There's been many trials, if you will, on many people that have proven this is something that hasn't gone away because it's having some benefit for the people who are using it. All that to say, like, obviously the spine is extremely complicated, and modern medicine does a very good job at trying to understand and provide solutions for it. But I would never discredit the thousands of years of practice that Chinese practitioners have put into understanding the spine as well. That's just as valid as modern today scientists also trying to understand the same thing.
100%. I agree, man. I agree. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've had it, man. We're finally back. Hopefully we will stay on track. Even when I'm in Iowa, we will have our Monday show. Granted, Pigs is good with that as well. The only reason we wouldn't is because my son's running, but that's not going to happen because Monday it's going to be an early day. It's a 10 a.m. Run for him. So we will be having that show. I believe that is next week, right? Yeah. The time flies, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, appreciate everybody for showing up, man. And we will definitely have a quick commercial from our sponsor. Shout out to Chop Hub on the way out the door, man. But until then, we'll see y'all, man. Peace. Be easy.
Move it, move it! Deadline's intense!
Still trimming!
I need captions over here!
Enough! Let's try something smarter!
Whoa!
Chop Hub is finding our highlights.
It's making shorts by itself! Captions, thumbnails, titles, all done?
And it's publishing everywhere!
I could get used to this.
Cheers to Auto Hustle! Work smarter, create faster, grow bigger, Chop Hub.